Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Neglected Naruto Could Bend Elements. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story and my own idea. And before continuing this, yes, I posted a community post that my mic got busted, the old one. So yeah, this is second hand that I was able to get the same model, because the transformer of that mic, the power supply of that mic, that is separate. It was working fine and I had the stand. The only thing that didn't work was the mic itself. The cables worked fine. So yeah, I was able to get it cheap. And yeah, hopefully from now onwards there will be more stories on both of the channels. And yeah, I hope you guys make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Meta channel as well. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha, Gakure no Sato. A few years after the QB attack, as we go towards the hospital of Konoha, in which inside the doctor's office we see the reports of 3 kids were being placed in front of their parents. They were not just any parents, and they were not just any kids whose reports were being displayed. The person that were seated in front of the doctor were the 4th Hokage Minister Namikaze and his wife Kushina Uzumaki, and both of them were told quite a grave news. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama, but your son Naruto, he doesn't have the capability of wielding chakra. This is once in a million time of a situation that has happened to him. What do you mean by that, doctor? What I mean to say is, Minato-sama, is that Naruto, he doesn't have the chakra coils. He has chakra, which is why he is able to live, but he doesn't have the chakra coils to channel that chakra and turn it into jutsu. If he tries to do that, God knows what might happen. It could be even life-threatening. So I highly recommend that he doesn't become a shinobi at all. Hi. Thank you, doctor. As Minato and Kushina got up and began to leave back towards their home, there was good news that both of the other kids were fine, but Naruto, he wasn't. Once they arrived back, Minato and Kushina were seated while the 3 kids played with one another. It's dangerous, Minato. Keeping them close, and Naruto is the Jinchuriki of the soul of the QB as well. I should have known. I did not knew. I painted a huge target on his back, Kushina. If not our enemies, then that masked person out there, he would try to do anything to get back the Biju. But for that he has to go through us. That's not the problem, Kushina. The problem is that Naruto won't be able to protect himself. We always can't be there, and if there is a moment in which we all slip and Naruto is taken, what would happen then? You're right. Naruto would be endangered. And if the QB soul got free, then the other 2, they might be endangered as well. As that is when Kushina grasped the whole situation. This is not okay. What are we gonna do, Minato? I'm gonna talk to Sensei. He is going to arrive within a day or 2. Keep this between us in the meanwhile. I already sent in an envoy to the doctor to make sure that he doesn't speak to anyone about this. Hi. And so within 2 days, as 2 days went normally, Jiraiya arrived. And he was inside Minato and Kushina's home. While the kids were asleep, they were seated down in the lounge area. What? This... I don't understand. I've never seen a case like this before, said Jiraiya, reading the reports that Minato has presented him. He has chakra. He's the Jinchuriki of the QB soul, and he doesn't have the chakra coils to use the damn chakra? This is really bad, Minato. Really, really bad. That is what I'm trying to say to you, Sensei. We need to find a way to protect him. Keep him safe and the others. I still am worried about that masked person. He hasn't been found. You don't need to worry about that. I'm on it. You have my word, I will be able to track him down soon enough. I can feel it. And once I do, there will be hell for him to pay. I hope so, Sensei. I hope so. People of Konoha, they're not gonna sit back and remain quiet. They will demand answers. Soon they will, I know for it. That, as a matter of fact, for sure. And we will have the answers to give them. The right answers that they want. As I said again, you don't need to worry about anything. For the time being, let me think of something else. And so, Jiraiya went, and within a week he came back to Minato with a suggestion inside his office. What? You have a plan? Said Minato to Jiraiya, who was there. Yes. It is quite an obnoxious one, but this is for the best. What is it? How about we leave Naruto in the orphanage? He will drop the name of both the Uzumakis as well as the Namikazes. In this way, he will be regarded as a civilian. Nobody knows of him that much. Menma and Mito were the ones who were presented to the civilians, right? Yes, they were the only ones, because at the time Naruto was injured and he was being tended to by the medics. I know. We can shut the medics up by telling them not to speak of this. This is an S-rank secret. And move the child away from the family, saving him and you all as well. Look, Minato, if you keep the kid close, one of your enemies, or Kushina's enemies, is gonna crawl up and try to harm the kid. I don't know when or where or how. Eva and Kumu are prime example of this. They have elite shinobis and envoys that they would send just to get back at you if the news get out about this. You're right about that. That is what I have been thinking about. And I'm very sick. And there's the other thing, the masked person. If he is capable of grabbing the Kyuubi's soul, then there might be a problem for the other two as well. Because Naruto would have been dead at the time, and the other two who were alive, they too might end up dead as well. So for that to not happen, this is the only solution. As bad as it is for the best. So I suggest you distance yourself from the kid. What? Keep him for the time being, a year or so. Let me find a perfect orphanage within Konoha, the one that is built as well as controlled by us. You're serious? I need some spy network here as well. Konoha is the only place where I have little to no spies. I need a base of operations here. And that will be the orphanage in which the kids will roam. I will handpick the kids out who will be, well, prodigious, and they will be spies for me later on. Alright, Sensei. I guess this works. I'm gonna go talk to Kushina. And after discussing this with Kushina, she agreed as well. And so, Minato gave Jiraiya the green light. And within a year or so, they began to ignore Naruto while Jiraiya was constructing an orphanage, a base of operations. Kids were obviously moved from another orphanages, and so Naruto was dropped there as well. But what they did not take into consideration was his feelings. His siblings were shocked, and so was he. Why is Naruto going there? I'm his niece and I will be able to protect him, said Menma. As Mito nodded, where are his siblings? You told us that Uzumakis always stick together. Naruto is no longer an Uzumaki. He's no longer our son. He's an orphan now. And each and every word stung Naruto into the heart. He was not a child anymore. He was 8-year-old and he was a genius who read about books and whatnot. And he knew what his parents were talking about. But why? Did I do something wrong? Said Naruto. Obviously he was distressed and worried. They were not giving him clear answers. And he was standing on the side. Naruto, please don't make this as hard as it already is, said Kushina. You are to move there. No, I won't. I want to live with you, said Naruto, hugging his mother. Enough, said Kushina, in a fit of rage. I wish you wouldn't have been born. And these words made Naruto drop his hands and shoulders as they slumped alongside his head. He stood there in silence, hearing those words as they rang in his ears. Menma and Mito, they too were shocked. Shocked beyond anything. Why are you being mean to Naruto, Kata? Why? You wouldn't understand right now. When the time is right, we will tell you, and you will thank us. As Naruto's arm was grabbed by Minato, on the other side was the bag, and he was dropped off into the orphanage. Naruto remained there still. He did not know why or how did this happen. What did he do wrong? But he was left behind. His family wasn't in Konoha anymore. They have left. People were unaware of him. If he tried to say that he was the son of Minato, he would get beaten because some of them tried. And let's just say they were made example of. And Minato and Kushina themselves said that they didn't wanted him to be born, which broke him. The only thing that came out of this that was good was his siblings. They vowed that they would come back for him, not knowing when or how. Naruto was left alone to wonder for and fend for himself. Jiraiya might have made a home for him and for other orphans, but what he did not anticipate was Naruto's emotions. Emotions that were overwhelmed, and now slowly were developing into resentment. Time skip. A few years later, as we see Naruto was at the age of 10, he has grown resentful towards his parents and Jiraiya, who has destroyed his family. He even has stopped living in the orphanage, building a small shed within the forest of death for himself, up on a tall tree, where, using a sleeping bag, he would sleep. Stealing stuff from the civilian market, his hands got quite quick. Even for the shinobi standards, they were not able to see what was going on. But on one night, on the night of the Kyuubi's 11th year anniversary, something happened. Naruto got caught by a drunkard shinobi. What the hell do you think you're doing, kid? Time to teach you a lesson, brat. No, please, I apologize. But he didn't listen, as Naruto was shocked when the men then threw him into an alleyway and began to do the hands. What? You're using jutsu? I have to make a permanent mark out of you to make sure you or any other bastard wouldn't try to pull that on me. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. As a huge fireball dispelled at Naruto, his hands were in front of him, but he didn't burn down. Turns out the fireball was right in front of him. As Naruto was shocked as the fireball hovered in air and then dispersed. You, what did you do? That was perfect technique of mine. What did you do, brat? The shinobi, he was annoyed, because some of the civilians were watching this and now they were even smirking that a damn kid was beating a damn Jonin. And before the Anbu could approach Naruto raised his hand. Stop! As a wave went by within the earth as if an earthquake, and suddenly a huge slab of earth rose from the ground at blinding speeds, sending the man flying back on his back and landing face first into the mud as Naruto made his escape. What the hell? Get back here, you damn brat! But by that time, Naruto was gone. Arriving back at his safe house, Naruto looked at his hands, panting heavily. What the hell was that? How did that happen? Interesting, said a voice. Who said that? Who are you? Who would it be? You're in inconsciousness? As Naruto froze. Kyuubi. You're Kyuubi, aren't you? That is one of my names. Yes. What do you want from me? Haven't you done enough? Haven't you destroyed my life so much that my parents abandoned me? Do you think it's my fault? Honestly, kid, think for yourself. They were the ones who sealed me within you, and they're the ones who abandoned you, and it's my fault? All I wanted to do was escape from a prison that I was placed in. Kyuubi was being sensible because since it was the whole soul and not the enraged part. And so, the Kyuubi tried to speak rationally first before lashing out. You're right. They were the ones who sealed you within me. Then why would they abandon? I'm gonna end you on a secret, kid. I don't believe that you would believe me for a second, but it is the truth. You are born without chakra coils, which are required for one to use and wield chakra and become a shinobi. Because of that, they feared that you would be targeted. Bullshit. If they were so afraid, they would have told me. They wouldn't have just left me to ruin. Oh, they did. It was in order to protect you and your siblings. Or well, what can I say? They could have protected you on their own, but they didn't go that far. They were, after all, the Kage, as well as the strongest Kunoichi of Konoha. And that gave Naruto a lot of time to think. Until Naruto's eyes narrowed. This is not what I was speaking of. That incident that happened. Oh, that? Even I am not aware. I have never seen something like that. From what I can tell was that you were certainly, from my perspective, bending and controlling the elements. Elements? Fire, earth. You control these two elements that are required by the shinobi to use with hand seals. I see. As now, we see Naruto, then the next morning, then tried again, near the edge of the water, and to his surprise, a huge water wave rose. Naruto thought it might have been a fluke, or maybe water itself behaving like this, but then he imagined water in the form of a dragon. And so it did, until Naruto tried to make it look like a dragon, and it began to turn from water into ice, and froze. Whoa! It turned into ice. Impressive. I want you to test how far you can go. As Naruto began to bend earth, and then, as time progressed, he was soon able to even bend lava, metal itself. And not stopping there, he was bending each and every element, air, water, and even blood that contained, turns out, water itself. As Naruto hunted down animals to eat for his own self, like this way. While back with Minato and Kushina, the kids were training. They hated their parents and wouldn't talk to them. Would eat and train and only speak through Jiraiya to them. Nothing else. Minato and Kushina felt guilty because they haven't told them and informed them of the whole scenario. But they knew that when the time is right, they would tell him. And then their kids will listen. As time passed by, as finally the kids reached at the age of 13, it had been a lot of years since they left Konoha. As they were all seated on breakfast table. Man and Mito had hunted down their own rabbit which they cooked over fire and were eating as usual. As Kushina's food was ignored again. We need to speak about your brother. Manma and Mito continued to eat until they stopped hearing about his name. You don't get to speak his name. You abandoned him. You wished that he wasn't even born, said Mito. You don't have to say it like that. We said this because we... What? Because you what, Kazan? Tell me. If you only listen, you would understand. Then tell us. Enlighten us, said Mito. Your brother, he was born without chakra wells. It was a danger to keep him and you guys close. If he was targeted, it was bound to happen that you two would be targeted as well. So keep making sure that he was safe if we left him in the orphanage, and you two as well. Some shinobi and Konomichi you are, said Menma. You are supposed to be the strongest in both of your fields. And turns out because you were afraid of people who you already have beaten, trying to get back at you, which they knew, regardless of what you do or not, they would do so. You abandoned your own son? Our brother? You disgust me, said Menma as he got up and began to leave. As Mito then said, for what's it worth? We could have protected him. We are proud as monkeys, or so we thought. If we would have known that you are the one who don't even follow what you preach, then we would not have listened. We're done. As Mito left, as Kushina began to cry, I think we made a mistake, said Minato. As Jiraiya, who was there, then sighed. Well, I guess it has been a long time. If the kids meet Naruto and we meet Naruto and tell him about the situation, maybe it will help. Yeah, maybe it will. As that is when a letter arrived. Konoha was attacked by Orochimaru led by a group known as Akatsuki. Reason? Minato. They wanted Minato and his family. As soon as the letter arrived, Jiraiya gathered everyone and reverse summoned themselves back to Mount Miyaboku and back to Konoha's gates. But by the time they arrived there, a huge amount of elements were there that shouldn't even be there. Ice, huge amount of ice structure made out of pure, sharp ice was there. And then there was earth that was also had cracks of lavas in it. And there was someone fighting on air as he shot flames from his mouth like a breathing dragon until he landed. His hands were steaming until flames gathered there, and he slammed both of the hands together as flame shockwaves were sent through. Minato obviously dashed forward and only to find a blonde mop of hair and a kid fighting shirtless. He was tall for his age and had developed muscles all over his body. Minato could only see his seal on his stomach and immediately realized who it was. Naruto. As Naruto didn't wait, he used all the 4 elements: earth bending, lava bending, metal bending, each and every bending art that he has mastered against them. And the Akatsuki, alongside with the army and Zetsu, all were captured, as they were buried now neck deep into the earth confinement's coffins. One more step and I'll make this into your coffin. Surrender. And so they did. While this was going on, Konoha as a whole cheered for him, while his family stood shocked. Naruto? Said Menma. Is that you? Nissan, you're back. Said Naruto as his neck snapped towards the redhead figure that looked like him. As Mito dashed and gave him a hug, we missed you. As Naruto looked down as well, hugging his siblings, the only people who he calls his family, who stood by him and were pained by the separation. And then his gaze met towards his parents. And then he said, how about you visit me in my shack? It's in the forest of death. I live there now. You can visit me anytime. Naruto, wait, son, I'm not your son. I'm an orphan. An orphan who was abandoned by his parents. Just because I couldn't use my chakra. How do you... It seems that the demon had more heart than my own parents had any. Because of that, I was able to find at least the truth of why was I abandoned. Listen, Naruto, we don't want you to be left behind. Stay with us. Said Menman Mito, I can't. I have my own life now. You two are still family, but the rest? No. Never. I've captured everyone. They in a form of group tried to attack, trying to get back at the Kyuubi after realizing that they were 3 Jinchurikis. So much for cover-up. Your own spies were double agents. As Jiraiya cursed under his breath. No wonder Konoha so much information was being leaked. And now, he might have to clean up the system. But one thing was for certain. A new legend was on the horizon. A legend that without any use of chakra was capable of controlling and wielding elements like he owned them. Like he was an avatar of some god in human form, manipulating Mother Nature and its elements in its own right. And his name was Naruto. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Mera What If channel as well. As for why such a short story, simple because I want to test out this mic. I did with a minute or 2 recording session, but yeah, I haven't used it for a long recording session. So yeah, I'm gonna try to gradually increase it just to see how far it goes. So yeah, in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my Mera What If channel as well. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace.